before you go and mount this thing on the duct, because you're probably going to have to pull the ductwork off the boiler and work on this thing, there's a template here for it, for cutting. This is the cutting template, so you know how to cut the pipe, where to pre-drill your holes for all these mounting screws and stuff. But there's also these knockouts, A and B knockouts. That is for the air pressure switch, or the sail switch, that's going to prove that this fan is working, the proving switch. And it talks about the sizing and which hole to use, depends on the duct size. So make sure you knock those out and put that adapter in there before you mount this fucking thing. Hey Kyle, it's Core. Anyways, here's that fan that you got to put in. I need you to follow the instructions when you put it in. I would start off with this part. And it needs to be installed on the bottom of that vent like this, so that the shaft on the motor is level. It says that right in the instructions, or else it'll wear out too soon. But my suggestion is install this thing and then just wire up a regular electrical whip, like a plug-in. Just wire nut it onto these cables, black, black, white, white, green, green, and plug it in. And then do all of your vent testing without doing the whole wire up. Just slap this thing on, and the way it says in the instructions, and then wire it up to a plug. Plug it in, and then get the boiler firing, and then go upstairs and flick on the fans, the 2 exhaust fans upstairs in the kitchen, as well as the, might as well throw on the basement bath exhaust fan too, and there's a fan in the mechanical room that says exhaust fan. You should get that going as well. I need you to look at the combustion air pipe that comes in there. Jeremy says he has it dampered off. I don't know what that means, but you should open that up too, so that room can breathe and get some combustion air into it. All right, that's the first step. When you test this thing, if all the fans are running and it passes the smoke test, and we have no emissions coming out through the draft hood or through the out of the boiler anywhere, if this works good, then this part goes on next. So you're going to find a spot to mount this on the boiler. Okay, so I had to think about this for a sec, but this part, you're going to mount this on the boiler somewhere. It's got a couple screw holes. You mount it like this on the boiler. And I want you to run a 2-wire thermostat wire, like just regular thermostat wire. Put a connector on here. Run the thermostat wire and run this into the boiler cabinet, like the actual front where the gas valve is for the boiler. Run that cable down in there and leave me some cable that I can use to wire it up. I'm going to put a relay in there, okay? So then on this guy here, on this fan, what you got to do is put some BX on here and run that down and bring it neatly into the boiler cabinet as well, hopefully both on the same side. All right, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 24-volt coil relay 2-pole, and what that'll do is the regular signal from the boiler. Anyways, I'll take care of that part. Don't worry about that. Just get this roughed in for me so that this is mounted, and this is mounted with the tubing between the two. There's the tubing, and make sure there's no air leaks or anything on this. So basically just run the fan and then and check it. And I'll take care of the wiring, but I just want you to run me a BX cable from this motor all wired up down into the cabinet of the boiler with about 2 feet of extra stripped off, properly protected cable down in there. By properly protected, I mean make sure you put a anti-short in when you put your electrical connector on. And this one here, this gets mounted on the boiler, the tube goes to there, and you're going to run 2 thermostat wires down into the boiler in the same spot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that relay that I'll put in to control all this. All right, so what's going to happen is the boiler will get signaled, it'll energize the relay. The relay will close, it'll turn the fan on. Once the fan gets up to pressure, then this switch will close and will allow the boiler to fire. That's exactly how it's going to work. All right, good. Okay, this is the final part. This is the, I don't know what they call it here. It's a limit rollout switch. You're going to install this as well. It has a copper coil that goes around the draft hood. It's a very specific way it gets installed. Please follow the instructions. And then these two cables are going to run down into the enclosure with the boiler as well. I'm going to put this on as a secondary safety. And what this will do is if there's ever any rollout, this will detect the rollout and it'll shut the main burner off. So I'm going to wire that part up. I'll do the stuff inside the cabinet. You just neatly get the cables and stuff down there for me. What I also need you to do while you're there is I need you to look at the main inlet incoming water, but I'll tell you a different video for that.